Hey YouTube, it's Hannah Loba. If you want more MotoAmerica content, check out the new and vastly improved MotoAmerica Live Plus app. It's the only place you can catch all the race action in one place all season long. Click the link in the description below.
Tyler Scott with a 132.771, Scults and Teague Hobbs, your front row.
Corey Alexander, PJ Jacobson, that you talked about. Jake Lewis, who was right up there with those guys for the most part yesterday as well. Mesa, Kayla's in there in 8th. Max Van, Dave Anthony, Tamburini, and Blake Davis. Back to row number 5, Saltese, Gerardo, Owen Williams, Jarrett Nassani, Aiden Sneed, and Hayden Bickness. Then we have Torrin Collins, Bradley Ward, Riston Grigg, Enriquez, LaRoche, and Jake Vandal. Last couple rows, Greg, DeLeon, Ferguson, Omen, and Tropcon.
That means we are ready to get ripping here as the revs are going to go up and that red light goes on. Let's see what our pole sitters got for the rest of the field. He got a good launch yesterday, and it looks like he got another one today.
Matthew Scults did not get a good start here, did he?
Corey Alexander did.
Yeah.
He got a great launch, and he's behind the number 70. That's Ty Scott on that Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki. And there's Corey Alexander, and there goes Teague Hobbs up the inside to grab the spot from Corey Alexander. So now it's a pair of those Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzukis leading the way.
It's a lot like what we saw yesterday. You see Matthew Scults already working on Corey. He's up to 3rd. And it looks like Jake Lewis also rode around the outside of Corey Alexander. So he gets that Altus GSXR 750, positions him in 4th. Man, Corey just kind of went backwards. He's been beat up a little bit here. You can see PJ's got by him as well as Mesa. So maybe keep an eye on that to see if there's either something wrong. But either way, Corey got a great start, was 2nd, is back to 7th now as he looks to go back up underneath Mesa. He's going to make that pass. So just got taken advantage of a little bit there, but it's a lot like it was yesterday with these two GSXR 750s from M4 out front.
This track racing Yamaha R6 of Matthew Scults is the rider on the move, as well as the 15 of PJ Jacobson, the Rahal Ducati Moto with Expel machine. They've been able to grab a couple of positions as Corey Alexander is just behind his teammate. So for Alexander, he's on that Rahal Ducati Moto with Roller Die and Forming. Same team, just different sponsor. So Vision Wheel M4X Star Suzuki's lead the way. The question is, when's Matthew Scults going to start making some moves? There's really no urgency. It's a long way to go. But if Matthew feels like he has the pace, he's going to try to want to make some passes quickly and put the gap on the field like he did yesterday.
Yeah, he's faster here. He's going to get a double bike draft off both those in front of him. And I think for PJ, he's going to be keeping a close eye on what the 11 is up to. He's going to want to try to get by Jake Lewis as quickly as he can. Matthew's going to be setting up one of these GSXRs in front of him. Maybe as they get down to turn 3, you can see, you can really feel the draft. Teague Hobbs now is going to lead them into 3. And look at Matthew. He slides up underneath Ty Scott. Jake Lewis having a peek around the outside of the 70 as well. So Matthew right off the bat. Now this is where he was absolutely killing it yesterday when we started dropping into sector 2. I was watching it in 4 straight laps yesterday. Matthew went red in sector 2. So he just kept bettering his times all through this area. So he's going to be working on Teague. Talk to Teague a little bit before the start of this race. It looks like PJ's working on Jake Lewis. He's going to make that pass, Greg. There he goes. So 15 is through on 85. Teague Hobbs said he tried some stuff this morning, Greg, but ultimately went back to what he ran yesterday.
Jake Lewis said having a great start, but PJ understanding that he can get better drives than Jake Lewis just from the size difference. So just to put himself in position like he did and start to accelerate, a great job. So the 79 Teague Hobbs leads the way, and there
That's a big pass.
Goes another move from PJ Jacobson, surprising the number 70.
Credit to Teague also, Greg. He's not letting Matthew get away through this section either.
Saw Teague earlier today. Congratulated him on his podium as he goes side by side. He didn't want to give that position up, but PJ put himself in the perfect position. But the smiles, the swagger, and the confidence back on Teague Hobbs' face, and these are the results we're getting right now. But in this race, the question is, who's got the better setup? We know that these two can do it. The other thing too, Jay, is that Matthew's not really getting away from Teague Hobbs. But by the way, it looks like Tyler Scott is on a bit of a resurgence right now. And no, we got a rider down.
Let's see who that is. Is that Vandal, maybe? Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yep. And a little bit of a bump right in the middle of that one as well.
That's
good looking Corey here.
That's turn number 12. They're going to flick it back over to turn 13. And after this right-hander, down toward basically the end of the straightaway is where the start-finish line is. You can see where that was the grid where they started, and they just went over that line in a 33.731 again for Matthew Skoltz, lowering the fastest lap of the race. But here comes, I thought it was Corey Alexander for a moment.
And PJ was talking to me about how when his bike spins, it kind of spins a little bit sideways. So Corey Alexander taking a shot now at Ty Scott. He's going to make that pass. So he's got one of those Vision Wheel M4 for GSX-R 750s behind him. He doesn't have to just solely rely on the brakes to slow the bike down. Some of that engine braking stuff, characteristics they can do with that bike, it's going to help him. But Owen Williams has crashed here right in front of our booth, unfortunately. And being in the places he is, I'm looking out the window here, Greg, and again, I'm looking back. Oh, he closed, I don't know what. Wow, his Tamburini was in front of him, really slowing. And I think Tamburini actually knew he was a little bit wide. And yeah, Owens made a mess of that one. So
all messing around with this Rahal Ducati Moto with roller die and forming, and Corey's got a good run on him.
He does have a good run on him. And
is he going to go up the inside?
That move.
That's a move that he made to pass Teague Hobbs, or to pass Ty Scott as well. Is it going to stick? There's no room, so there goes Corey. But now we're going to see with a draft if Teague Hobbs is able to get around Corey Alexander. We know that when he bends it through turn number 1, that he's awfully fast. And look at Hobbs trying to go around the outside. Corey still holding the inside. A lot of real estate to play with here at Brainerd International Raceway, and it's got to be Hobbs who gets the nod.
Wow, see that nose up to at least Corey's rear wheel. Corey's just going to be breaking in there even deeper. So, Greg, we're going to have one lap to go this next time by. Teague is just grinding out these middle laps. Look at Ty Scott just rolled up underneath Corey in the middle of that long right-hand corner. So, great move from Ty. Now Teague's going to have some problems with his teammate right behind him. 5th to 3rd, you're going to see this pass, Greg. He laid off late, but I believe he's probably going to run just a little bit right and take Teague out there with him. And that's going to allow Corey to sneak up underneath. You see he got out on the rumble strips, did Teague.
Teague's fighting back right now, the 79. No, he can't get it done. So Corey Alexander and Ty Scott and Teague Hobbs are this close for the final spot on the podium on this last lap at Brainerd International Raceway in Supersport. And Alexander had a notion, but nearly got his nose sawed off there. Only a couple corners to go in this final lap. All the while, Matthew Skoltz has set sail at 4 seconds now, the lead between him and PJ Jacobsen. Those 2 spots on the podium look secure as we keep our eyes on this battle for 3rd.
Yeah, and it's really, Corey just got nabbed right here the last time through. Ty Scott ran that tight line like he's doing right now and snuck up underneath the 23, and that is really going to be costly, I think, for Corey, because, Ty Scott gets out of shape pretty big there. Now we're going to see through this next fast right, Corey's just a little bit too far back at the moment.
You got a good run, though.
He's having a run.
Here comes Corey Alexander. He's going to slam the brakes on. There goes Corey up the inside. He's going to be able to get it stopped for 3rd place as Skoltz wins the race. And PJ comes back. Alexander with a tight line. Now it's going to be the big drag race for the final spot on the podium. It's a V2 versus GSX-R 750. Ty Scott with a good run. And he'll,
Says Corey. It says Corey Alexander on our screen.
Victory. This is 3rd place, and it is Corey Alexander.
Wow.
He can kind of go back to this and be like, okay, I was braking too hard, or, I wasn't braking as hard, whatever it is, and you can correct it.
We also heard Corey Alexander, all of the support that he's gotten over the last couple of weeks, of course, going back to him recovering from that injury.
And then Corey Alexander, what a battle between himself, Ty Scott, Teague Hobbs in 5th, Jake Lewis in 6th, David Anthony, Kayla Yakov